Hi guys, I hope you had a lovely day. So in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to make this little shoulder top. So it's something that you can put on over a top or a dress maybe that does not have shoulders if you don't want to show your shoulders. So let's get straight into the video. So this is my fabric. I've doubled it, and then I took my dress, this dress that I am using as a pattern, then I traced out the shape of the pattern and I left a seam allowance of about 1 inch on the edges. Then I just drew with the chalk right round the pattern, and then I took a scissors and then I just started to cut along that line that I had drawn. So after cutting, you now have a front piece and a back piece. Then you now take a paper and then you put your sleeve on top of the paper and then you pin it down. Then you now use a tracing wheel to trace the shape of the sleeve out. Then after that, I just used that ruler to draw the lines, but you don't need to use a curved ruler. You can just freehand draw because the indentations of the tracing wheel will be showing. Then I just cut out the shape of the sleeve, and that is how it looked like. Then I now took the sleeve pattern and then I went on to the corner of my fabric. This is a folded piece of fabric, and then I cut out my sleeve. Then I cut out the right sleeve and also the left sleeve. You notice that they are not the same. Then after that, I just removed the pins that I'd used to secure it down. So there I was just gathering all the pieces that I needed. So it's 2 front and back pieces and then your 2 sleeve pieces on the side. Then you take your front part or your front portion of the top, then you now fold it in half, then you go on the edge and mark about 3 to 4 inches. Then you now take your curved ruler and then you draw that arc and then you cut it out. So this is just basically the neckline. And then after that, I now cut exact identical pieces of lining for all the pieces, for all 4 pieces. Then I place them against each other, right sides facing inside, and then I just pinned on those edges that I'm showing you. So this is basically where you are going to sew. Then I just went ahead and I started sewing. So this is the way that I sewed these pieces. And remember that you need to leave edges open so that you'll be able to turn it inside out. Then I also did the same thing for the sleeves. So after sewing, I now started turning my pieces inside out and then just ironing those edges and making sure that everything is neat. So those are my two sleeves, and then on the front piece I did those little snips to make sure that when I turn it inside out it will just lay flat, and then I turned it inside out and then I just ironed it down.
To the ground, you're dragging me. It's constantly. No, I won't make a sound. I love the pain. It sets me free. It's wrong. I can't think right. I love the bird below you said myself. But this is the last. It's wrong. I can't make right. Slipping off in the moonlight when I knew the truth. I had myself free on the ground. I know the truth.
So that was my back piece already turned inside out and ironed. Then I took the front piece and the back piece, then I put them against each other, and then I pinned them on top there on the shoulders and on the sides. And on the sides I only had about 1 inch, so I just pinned those two together. Then I also took my sleeves and then I folded them like that, and then I pinned them on the sides. And after that I just went ahead and I stitched on all the parts that I had pinned together. Then I just went ahead and I sewed on all the sides that I had pinned together.
But you cut me down. It's wrong. I can't think right. I love the bird below you said myself. But this is the last. It's wrong. I can't make right. Slipping off in the moonlight when I knew the truth. I had myself
I now took my sleeves and then I started joining them onto the front and the back of the little top. And so there I was just pinning the sleeves. Then after that I went ahead and then I just sewed them on. After sewing, at this point the top is basically done. Then for the decorations, I took there were about 16 of these little round fabric pieces, and so the fabric is made of polyester, so to prevent these little fabric tassels from fraying, I just bent the edges off a little bit using a candle. Then I went on to my top and then I started marking about 2-inch intervals on the bottom of the top, and then I started sewing on the fabric tassels together with some of these beads just to make it look pretty. So that is just basically how I was sewing it.
You're a rolling stone, but I'm a cannonball. You're not fooling me, not fooling anyone. Got your head in a cloud, so delusional. In an ocean of all this emotional. Best be sure I'll be there when you're looking for something more.
So at that point I'd already done the whole front row, and then there I'd done also the back row, and that was basically it. So I hope I inspired you today to go and create something beautiful. Thank you so much for sticking around. See you in the next video. Bye.